of the Maths Centre, Johannesburg-based non-profit striving to improve maths, science and technology education in South Africa. She's also one of 4 Africans to receive the Schwab Foundations 2015 Social Entrepreneur of the Year Award for her work at the Maths Centre, which has helped hundreds of thousands of learners and teachers in South Africa. Her centre focuses on the core of the solution to education challenges by running programs that target teachers and pupils in some of the most poorly resourced primary and high schools in South Africa right now. Welcome, Sharanjeet Shan. Thank you for your time on the SABC News Desk.
Thank you, and hello to all the viewers.
Yes. Sharanjeet, yes. Why is a subject like mathematics so crucial, not just as a discipline, but also as a life skill for all of us?
I think, answer to that question is so obvious, because there isn't a single thing in life that you can do without understanding some dimension of mathematics. I'm not saying everyone has to learn calculus or algebra or very high-powered trigonometry, Euclidean geometry, but every one of us has to manage money, we have to manage a home, yes. We have to find a job, and most jobs would require some level of numerical literacy. And in the global economy, if we are ever going to compete as a country in the global economy, we need to get our young black Africans to go into engineering, into architectural, into computer science, into all manner of positions throughout the world, into economics. You cannot do that without improving on maths and science. And year after year after year, we go on, and we should be feeling very distraught. I'm feeling very distraught today, and I'm not apologizing for it, because each year I think there would be a strategy implemented, rolled out, that would look at why our children are failing mathematics so badly. This year, for example, 3% of learners, 8,000 learners got distinction. Distinction begins at 80% plus. And if you look at all the results and all the percentages, question has to be asked, what are these results about? Which subjects are these? How were the averages worked out to say that a particular province or in a particular district, 87% learners passed? Passed in what? Passed in which subjects? Passed at what level? Are they going to have access to further and higher education? Because that begins minimum at level 5. So there are so many questions. Yes. It is not just a crucial subject, it's a necessary subject. It's a life skill.
All right, we understand at the Maths Centre you try to address this issue in a 3-step approach. Just talk us through that.
Okay, the 3-step approach is correct, restore and enhance. Particularly if we are looking at mathematics in our country, we have a huge issue with how teachers view mathematics. They look at it mechanically, technically. I'll give you an example, and this example upset me for days. My granddaughter was learning 2 by 2 multiplication. When you come to the second digit, which is a 10 position in terms of place value, the teacher said you lay an egg in the first place. You lay an egg in a mathematics classroom. Golden opportunity was missed to absolutely involve, engage, immerse children into understanding of zero. Zero Krishni changed the economic systems of the entire world. What we have now, it is because of zero. It is because of decimal system. Why didn't the teacher talk a little bit about the history of zero? So does that mean that if you're doing a multiplication 3 by 3, you be laying 2 eggs instead of learning about place value?
And it actually preempts my next question. Teacher competency and training, a big concern, like you point out. Where do we start?
It needs to be made a statutory requirement. We need a law. I didn't finish talking about the 3 stages. The second stage is restore. We need to restore teacher competencies and teacher confidence, but then once we've done that, we need to hold our teachers accountable. They cannot make children feel stupid in a classroom when a child does not understand decimals or fractions or exponents or place values or number bonds or whatever it might be.
Creating an aversion to the subject.
Absolutely.
Your mantra is love and discipline.
Absolutely.
Teaching
mathematics, not just mathematics. If we think of a child, it is in the child's nature to be curious, to find out. But they are not carrying a big baggage of information which they can bring out and say, okay, I need to solve this 2 by 2 multiplications. This is how I'll do it. You need to be encouraging. You need to be restoring confidence all around. Therefore, honestly, my view after all these years, it's 22 years now working in South Africa, we need a statutory declaration and we need a statutory instrument which provides training for the teachers and then holds them accountable.
All right, there's a great deal of focus this week on early childhood education.
Yes.
When can the child start learning mathematics, Sharanjeet? I know you've said as early as 6 weeks old.
Absolutely. Children learn from the moment they can focus their eyes, because intuitionally they are looking at the mum and they are turning their eyes around, listening to dad, so they are looking behind, in front, big, small, large, thin, all sorts of vocabulary is being built which is relevant to mathematics. So parents also need to play a part. Math Center runs, we think it's quite a brilliant campaign, Parents Matter, Parents Count. Parents absolutely must engage with the children in a discussion during cooking, during washing, during shopping, taking a little walk in the garden and looking at the weather. Weather is absolutely mathematical in its nature and everything. Then the last thing is enhancement. You know, mathematics is just so beautiful. If you look at the mathematics of fractals, mathematics of the weather I just mentioned, mathematics of the mother nature in terms of the Fibonacci sequence, in daisies, in sunflowers, you name it. And we ought to be embarrassed that we are publishing that 8,000 learners out of 1.26 million who entered the class of 2016 got distinctions. I don't know what we are celebrating. I would really love to know with clarity, with analysis as to exactly what, because all education needs to lead children into access to different careers, further education, higher education, and mathematics is the key.
Sharanjeet, very quickly, tell us about the services you offer at the Math Center, which grades are targeted, where you're located, and how can members of the public contact you?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. The number is simple. It's 083 5555 622, or they can write to me, which is better. It's preferred. Sharanjeet at mweb.co.za. We are in Braamfontein in 28 Jutta Street, and we deal from grade triple note all the way to grade 12, and now we are looking at first year university students in mathematics, in science, technology, economics and accounting, and ECD of course.
Thank you. Sharanjeet Shan joining us on the News Today desk. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sharanjeet Shan is the Executive Director at the Math Center based in Braamfontein in Johannesburg.